Sup nerds, I'm Tom.
I'm Wes.
We're going to talk about the top 10 things we saw at Gen Con. I mean, most of these are going to be games that we saw, but also just like experiences we had. Just, we're going to kick back and have a little chat with you. Put on some tea and sit by the fire with us. Grab some gingerbread cookies and get in the bath. Call in sick to work and adopt a dog. Buy a flamethrower from the dark web. So we're going to start off with two things. We're going to do some honorable mentions real quick. We each have one. But of course, we're going to tell you that this video is brought to you by GameToppers, the sponsor of Neverboard Gaming. It's what we're filming on right here. We don't have anything on the table, which to be honest is actually kind of nice. That means once we're done filming, we're going to have to break something down to set up the next video.
So first honorable mention, and probably the most memorable thing of the entire experience, was looking up in the rearview mirror and seeing that Dodge Ram just slamming into the back of our car on the way home. We'll never forget that.
Yeah, we drove from Florida to Indianapolis and we got into a car accident on the way back. It's real fun.
We're okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
We made it.
We were stopped at a red light. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. My real honorable mention is getting to play with Joe Manganiello, Hero Quest.
That's not how you say his last name.
I heard him say his own last name when sitting next to me, and I'm pretty certain he would know. Whatever. I played with Flash Thompson from Spider-Man.
I don't want to fight you, Flash. I wouldn't want to fight me neither.
That was super cool. I mean, it was really great just to be invited to that. That was awesome. He basically DM'd, or he was the Zardon or whatever for Hero Quest. It was also my first time playing Hero Quest. Super fun, honestly, like core memory right there.
But these are called core memories.
So my honorable mention is really my favorite thing about Gen Con every year, and that's getting to reconnect with our annual, hang out with our online friends. Getting to hang out with Oscadelia at the All Play Party. Getting to hang out with Travis at Indie Boards and Cards Party. All the different people we got to hang out with at all the parties. I can't mention you all by name, all the cool people we got to meet. That's my favorite part of the whole experience, is just connecting with people that we see them at Gen Con.
Yeah, I mean, those parties are great because sometimes we get if you've been watching our channel for a while, you know we like to pound a few back sometimes.
We have a good time. We had a good time a couple times.
I'm going to say that a few days, those parties are normally the first day of Gen Con. On a Saturday, I think it was, I had a meeting and I met with the CEO of a company. I'm not going to say which company, but I shook his hand. I was like, hey, nice to meet you. And he goes, we met a few days ago. And I said, we did? I was like, oh no. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just been oh yeah, of course. But my gut reaction was, when? What? All right, so getting serious here. The first thing we want to talk about is our number 10 is Sanctuary. This is a lighter, quicker version of Arc Nova. It still has the same, sliding action selection thing, but it's all tile-based. It's you can get the feel of Arc Nova, but you can play it in 45 minutes to an hour. Quick shout out to Going Analog.
Yeah, we got to play with those guys. They are super cool. Mm-hmm. Honestly, at all the different events and things we went to when we saw them, we were yes, we want to play with them. They're fun. So number 9 on the list was getting to see Happy Camper's new games. Jason at Happy Camper, super cool guy, one of our favorite people to run into. They have 2 new games coming out, Jungo and The Four Doors. Mm-hmm. Jungo is kind of a lighter, streamlined version of, but it's very similar to Scout, where you have a hand shedding game. It is so much fun. I have played that game more than any other game that we picked up at Gen Con. Mm-hmm. Four Doors is also really cool. I think it's kind of somewhere between Pandemic and Forbidden Island. Co-op game where you've got the actions in your turn to go collect doors. We've loved everything that Happy Campers put out, but Jungo is definitely
probably one of our top ones.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So our number 8 is an upcoming game from Moose Games. It's called Nato, I think. Yeah, I think it's called Cow Nato. Yeah, this is going back to... It's we played
tabletop tetherball.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the silliest one on the list, but it's on there because we had such a good time with it. Honestly, I feel a big part of why we had such a great time with it is because we were already a little smashed when we were playing it. But, I mean...
And we broke it?
We broke it! We can snap it back together. I mean, it's just a thing. We didn't actually break it. We disassembled it.
We may have actually broken it. It did fly across the bar.
Shut up! That's incrimination.
So number 7 is we got to demo the Game Makers from Bezier, which is either on Kickstarter right now or coming to Kickstarter depending on when this video goes up. It is a really cool simultaneous action selection worker placement game where you are literally a game company making games, but one of the coolest things about it is the fact that they've partnered with so many different companies to include all of your favorite games in the game. You have to make the choice of ooh, am I gonna make this game that I love so much, or am I going to trash this card to be components to make a different game? So like the meta game within that, as you're making your decisions of like, oh, I really need I need components to build, Arc Nova. So let me draw a card and like, oh, it's brass. Do I want to trash brass to make Arc Nova? But it just really is a very cool game. It's kind of Bezier's love letter to the industry, which they did while also making a fantastic game. And I can't wait to play it again.
Number 6 is Citizens of the Spark. This is from Thunderworks. We got a brief demo of it at Gen Con, and then I played it a few times since we got back. Jess, who works at Thunderworks, she called it genius, and I have to agree. You have all these different cards that you mix together, and then you're drafting cards to just build this tableau. But when you build a tableau, if you get multiple copies of the same card, you put them in a little stack so that their abilities are stronger. But then every time you use a card in that stack, the stack gets smaller, so you can't just build up a really good engine that just pumps like crazy for the rest of the game. But also, there's a follow mechanic with every time anybody triggers an action on the card, anybody else who has that same card can follow it as well. So you're going to want to go really wide too. You want to go long on one card to get a better ability from that card, but you also want to go wide so you can do more actions on other people's turns. It's really clever, really, again, one of those elegant, simple games. Loved it an awful lot. You definitely got to check that one out.
Number 5 is a new family weight co-op game called Last Lantern. It's a really fun cooperative polyomino game where the options for the polyominoes come out and then you have to secretly bid on which one you want, but all of your teammates are also secretly bidding on which one they want. And if everyone picks a different polyomino, you get an extra action and the polyomino to put in your board. But if 2 people pick the same piece, now you have to argue over who gets the piece and who gets the action. And you're weaker now too because you're getting less pieces, less actions.
Because the board is multiple Tetris things in a row, right? So you need to fill in your Tetris thing, I need to fill in my Tetris thing, but the whole board, they're smushed adjacent to each other, so we all need to get to cross these lines.
And there's overlapping too, where we both have a place where you can both put things, and you can't talk about it obviously when you're bidding. So you're kind of what does Tom want? What do I want? And then obviously it's better for me to have this piece, so there's no way Tom would pick that piece.
You're speaking as if you have experience in some. I still feel like I took the right piece.
And it does scale up. There's secret packs in there to add challenges to the game. So if you're playing it with your kids, you could play super base game that's very straightforward, but still puzzly and clever in how you do it. And then if you're playing it with your gamer buddies, you can add extra challenges to really up the difficulty level. This is from one of the newer publishers we met with. We haven't done anything with them before.
Yeah, we've never talked to them, but they even had another game there called Castle Raisers, I think, that looked really cool. Point is, I think that we're going to be seeing, in the next couple of years, we're going to be seeing a lot of really good things from them. They were called Wonderful World Board Games, I believe. WWBG. That's the... I remember WWBG. I think it's Wonderful World.
We can look it up.
I could in editing. We could. It could be on the screen right now, but
it will be on the screen right now.
Or we just may never know. Number 4 is both a game and kind of an experience. Is we got invited to the D&D launch event the day before Gen Con.
Venue for an
event. Was so cool. We'll show up. I don't know if we still have the pictures of all the drinks we got. They weren't booze, but they were still really cool. They had sparkly stuff,
which was not kind of nice because it was an 11 a.m. event.
Yeah,
so,
I was like, part of me wants a drink right now, but it's probably good that we're not drinking right now. We have dabbled in RPGs before, but as time goes on, we really want to get more and more into it. So especially looking at all the stuff there, it was dang, we really want to play these more. And probably the next big product coming out that we're definitely going to jump on is the D&D Stranger Things box.
Yeah, the Hellfire Club.
Now there is, I think it is the second one of that, because I think there was a smaller thing before, but again, I love starter box things. I love one-shot campaigns. We have the Marvel one and the Arkham Horror one. Those things are really fun, and Stranger Things is great.
So number 3 is a game that we've actually already done a Kickstarter preview for, which is Into the Machine by AEG. A really cool worker placement game. The way that there's no blocking, but you also have the track where you can jump over each other's components and leapfrog to the finish line, and you're all racing to see who can get the first 3 of your little hexes to the end of the line. It was a really short Kickstarter campaign, so I'm not sure if it will still be live when this video goes up, but there might be a chance to late back it. We'll put a link to it down in the description box down below. This was honestly, like, it was such a fun game to play.
It's actually, again, it's one of those things where don't judge a book by its cover, because I looked at it and I immediately thought, I was like, oh, this is going to be like a light, silly, whatever. Like, I'm not disinterested, but I was like, oh, that looks cool. You know, I wasn't like, whoa! But when we were playing it, I was like, oh, this is really good. This is like, again, it is super tight. Like, every decision matters. Like, you're jumping along this track and leapfrogging. That leapfrogging thing matters so much.
Yeah.
Like, the order in which you do your own actions could matter an awful lot. Nonetheless, you know, how other people set you up. It's brilliant. Now, our number 2, we're going to be really brief on, because depending on when this video comes up and when you're watching it and stuff, there's a lot of stuff we can't talk about.
Long and lengthy NDAs we signed to get to have this experience.
Yeah, so we will just mention, because right now we know that the name is out there. It's Brass Pittsburgh, the third version of Brass.
I got a full rundown of the game with the designer, Gavin. Super cool guy, by the way. If you like Brass, you're going to be really excited about this one. I can say that. Like, it goes forward in age in the game into Pittsburgh. I know that information is out there already.
The things that we can talk about is there are laser cannons in
yes.
that. There is a brothel you can visit.
When the aliens arrive, it
really is
interesting.
honestly. And then Genghis Khan, if you can hire Genghis Khan, that's really cool.
But definitely keep an eye out for more information on Brass Pittsburgh, because if you're a fan of Brass, this is one you definitely want. You're looking out for it already, but I can confirm that the hype is real.
And then our number one thing that we saw at Gen Con is another game that we also have a Kickstarter preview for. Either it's, I don't know when I'm going to release it, maybe it'll be up now, or
it's filmed. It's not edited as of today, but
we'll get there. And obviously we are a little biased in this because this is a little bit more personal for us, because it's designed by Travis Chance, who's a good friend of ours. We've known him for many years, and we've seen a lot of his games sort of grow and change. And this is Journeys Afar. This is an open world sandbox game that is very similar to like, let's say, a Western Legends, which is another game that he worked on. He also worked on, oh my gosh, what's that called? Forsaken. This is like the culmination of that. It's also something that he did with his daughter a lot. Like, she really likes the Studio Ghibli stuff, so it's kind of inspired like that. And you wanted
she's represented in the game as one of the playable characters.
And it's something that he really wanted to have a game for her, which is, of course, a really great, reason and motivation to go make a game. But the game itself is really fun. It kind of takes elements from those other games that are similar that he's worked on in the past and really refines them down a lot.
There's a really good narrative aspect to it that's like somewhere between like Above and Below and Vantage, where Above and Below has like some narrative in there. Vantage is just all narrative. This game has a lot. It's definitely a game. There's tons of game in there, moving around, fighting monsters, getting equipment. But every turn you have an encounter where you'll read and get to make decisions based on the story. There's a lot of like quippy humor mixed in there as well. It's a lot of funny experience you have. There's a lot of eating things, which I always chose to eat all the things. But this was definitely the coolest thing we saw at Gen Con. I'm so excited that we got to take home the prototype and play it, because like hearing getting to go to an event and see a game like that and have a quick demo is like, that's cool, but getting to sit down and actually play,
being able to walk away with it. And then I actually brought it to my local game store, Darby's Dungeon, shout out to them here in Jacksonville, and I demoed it to 4 brand new players who all had a really great time. I basically I ran the game and I did all of the encounters, so I got to do fun voices and stuff. Honestly, this game is you really definitely got to look out for this one. I think this is going to be a big title moving forward.
So nerds, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us as we just reminisced on one of the best weeks of the year for us at Gen Con. Got to see tons of cool games, tons of cool people. There's a lot more to be excited about than we were even able to cover here, but those were definitely like our top 10 highlights of games we saw, experiences we had, people we got to chill with.
Gen Con is always like, the highlight of our year. We don't go to a lot of conventions. We're trying to go to more, but if you see us at a convention, feel free to say hi, sit down and play a game with us. If we're playing a game and it's full, feel free to push other people out so you can play this. Don't do that.
But we will have links to all these things down in the description if you want more information on them. We'll have more content on all of these things coming out as well. Definitely check all that out, pick some of these out, keep an eye out for some of these campaigns that are upcoming. And I hope to see you at Gen Con next year.
And either way, you should definitely subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.